Welcome to Clixed Off, brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama. Check them out at LuckyDiceCafe.com. And now for your hosts, Daniel Powell, Jason Alvey, and Tylor Speeds.
Hey everybody, welcome to Clixed Off today. This is your host Daniel Powell speaking. Just want to let everyone know that Clixed Off is brought to you by TrollandToad.com, the world's largest Heroclix retailer. Find Heroclix new and old at Troll and Toad and use coupon code CLIXEDOFF for 5% off your Heroclix order. Merchant and pre-order items do not apply. And then joining me today is Tylor owns a chair, not a couch. Spees.
Accurate. I can't argue with that.
And for the first time in a while, we do have a guest today. Joining us from the Bradcast Show is Brad Broyles. Welcome to the show, Brad.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, thanks. You're very welcome. So today we're going to talk about just kind of some general competitive stuff. We've had some in-person events and some online stuff happen recently, and we're going to go over some of that. And first of all, we are going to talk about the Clixed Off Classic, which is making its return.
Oh boy.
I would say it's the second annual, but 2019 or 2018 was the only other one that we've done, I think.
Was it 2018? I thought it was 2019.
Well, I think it was 2018 because Easton won that one against Nate White. So.
Oh, I remember that event. Yeah, Nate was playing. That was actually where Nate used Hawkeye for the first time, and then he became a big thing.
No,
people probably were gonna use it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it was X-Men Swarm versus Hawkeye Avengers.
The first instance of Hawkeye to happen. That was a fun event. That was a moment in Clix history.
X-Men Swarm, was that the
Wolverine?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No Blackbird, just them, like just all the good figures.
Yeah.
So,
man, good times, yeah.
So this year, normally we've ran this via, Big Bang, our home store there in Owensboro. But this year, Clixed Off, we are doing this tournament as ourselves, completely self-funded, which is a little bit more risk.
Well,
but,
not completely self-funded, right?
Yeah, I mean, we do have sponsored stuff, right? But
yep.
The store, right? We don't have the backing of a store, or if it goes sideways and we lose money, we're losing money out of our own pocket. So is I guess the point I'm trying to make. So it's going to be 300 modern, $30 entry fee, cash or PayPal. It's going to be on October 16th, 2021. Doors open at 9 a.m. Dice down at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's at a place called the Denton Shelter House here in Henderson, Kentucky. So we're pretty close to all the major hubs around here. Indy, St. Louis, Nashville.
As major as they get.
As major Clix hubs as we get in the Midwest here. So we are still gathering prizing, although I think that we have a fairly robust amount of prizing already. So first place is going to get a Brick of Rise and Fall and a custom design trophy that I'm working on. Second place will get 5 boosters. Third place will get 3 boosters. Fourth place will get 2 boosters. And that's guaranteed for the top 4. Top 8 will draft 4 neoprene maps, 3 web credits to Troll and Toad, $50 each, and then one Plastic Man Buy It by the Case figure. So the plan there for the day is, as we get into top 8, once we go from top 8 to top 4 will pick out the 4 things that they want, and then top 2 will pick out the 2 things that they want, so that the other group can leave if they so wish. So we'll work on that as we get through there. Then for 9th place and beyond, we are gathering up we have some older bagged and boxed Connellies. We have like some Scarlet Witches. I've got a Reverse Flash. Tylor, you've got like Lalandra and like Ambrose Chase and some
Ravens, which are still going pretty decent.
Yeah. So we'll get some pictures of all of that for 9th place and beyond to draft. It's kind of my goal to make sure that everybody kind of walks away with something. But I'm gathering up some more stuff. But we certainly have enough stuff to like go to like 16th place as of today.
And we also want to add some door prize, like little maybe random stuff. Like I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a $20 Chipotle gift card to do one of the door prizes.
$20 Chipotle. I don't think that came.
Chipotle. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, $20 Chipotle gift card.
Yeah, $20 Chipotle gift card. We're going to some events the next few weeks and between now and then, and we want to gather up some more prizing and some other stuff for door prizing as well. I think the team, the podcast folks here, we want to make sure that we want to host this event to be able to play, and maybe encourage people that wouldn't normally play at a competitive event to be like, hey, we're doing prizing beyond top 8. We're doing door prizes.
Didn't you say you were going to do like Clixed Off stuff too, like little
and then
goodie bags?
So for every entrant, I'm going to do a goodie bag. I've got some stickers, dice, and pins, and then maybe some other stuff that I can come up with between now and then. So every
stickers.
Every entrant will get a goodie bag of some sort. So, given that we are hosting an event, we wanted to bring in a third-party judge. I guess we could call that. So Chad Birdsell is has graciously going to come down and judge the event. So what Chad says goes for the event.
He was the only guy that was available. So sad.
Yeah, not so much that. He was probably the best guy that we had available for the event.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's a high quality player.
Yeah.
So I think we're really excited about it. If you got any questions for us, we've got a Facebook group in the Facebook event. Just feel free to ask us any questions, or feel to DM me directly. And I will answer any questions that you have about the event. So we're excited. We're glad some in-person play is back, and we want to try to spice it up with as much prizing as possible. So,
it's going to be exciting to see where the meta's at then, because it'll be after a couple big events here coming up with Rise and Fall Legal. So
that's right. So
interesting to see where that's at.
It doesn't look like Empire's coming out till November.
Yep.
So for like
tentatively November.
Yeah, well, it's definitely does not seem to be October.
Right. Yeah.
So it could be November or later, but definitely does not seem like it is going to be October. So I think for like the first time in a while, we'll have a run of events with a fairly established meta.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of is weird because technically, like, when is Blackheart? When did I guess the whole set, not just Blackheart, but when did that become legal?
That's
like a week ago.
Today.
Oh, today. Okay, so
today, yeah.
like we haven't even. It's not really established because we haven't really had any
So between
I guess that's not true because I played one.
Right. So between now and our event, we have Huntsville and Jay's event up in Columbus during Origins, not affiliated with Origins, and then Brad's event on the 25th of September online. And those are the three that I know of off the top of my head. There might be some other stuff.
There's probably a bunch of other Master Mold tournaments.
Yeah, I don't know, but some of the Master Mold tournaments are being ran as sealed. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
I would like to say that with not just the big tournament that I have, but the online weekly tournaments that I hold are definitely a good sample size of what to expect for.
That's kind of what I was just thinking.
Pending meta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Brad's weekly events as well. So I would say, starting. I know, Brad, you've already had Rise and Fall legal, right? Or no?
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for 2 tournaments?
Yeah, I've had it legal for 2 tournaments, and I've seen 3 Blackheart team, or the, what's the word, Hellfire?
Switch out or whatever?
Yeah, Hellfire thing.
Okay, gotcha.
And I think you're going to see a lot of Hellfire with either Blackheart or Emma Frost, the Chase.
Emma Frost. Interesting.
Or Jason Wingard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely out there.
Yeah, so I mean,
right
between now and our event, I mean that's an event. I mean, at least one event every week, with 3 or 4 of them being in-person events too. So
yeah, true.
Right now, I think Blackheart is going to be the next hot thing, like Maggot was.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to happen a lot quicker than it did happen with Maggot.
Yeah, people. I mean, yeah, it's he's hard to not want to play. I think you look at him, it's very fun, but I don't know how much into the meta we want to get.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get there. Let's just get there when we get to our event results and then talking about prep. But Brad, just for you being on the show for the first time, Mr. Chomps saw that you wanted to be on the show, and I talked to him this morning in preparation for tonight's show. You are familiar with Mr. Chomps, right?
No, I just know Mr. Chomp Swamp, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, Mr. Chomp's Swamp is where Mr. Chomps lives, and Mr. Chomps is Clixed Off's nasty ass wrestling alligator. He's our show mascot. He's stayed relatively quarantined this whole time because nasty ass wrestling alligators are actually the cure.
Very health conscious.
They're very health conscious, and they definitely respect the quarantine and social distancing. So, but they still have phone. They do have a phone line down there in the swamp, and Mr. Chomps, as he does for every guest, he wants to know if you would rather wrestle Mr. Chomps to the death or have another part break on your car.
My car is dead. This is the second time it's happened in 2 years.
Oh.
How big is Mr. Chomp?
Well, I mean, he's a full-size alligator, so...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd rather have another part die in the car. If he was about my size, I'd probably try to take him on, but I'm not a fighter.
He's a good 8 feet, at least.
I mean, you got to remember, regardless of his size, he is nasty ass.
Yeah,
Something to consider.
Well, if I want anything from Steve Irwin on South Park, you just got to stick your thumb at a certain place.
Man, I haven't watched South Park in a long time.
Neither have I, but that just came to mind.
Well, I'm sorry about your car, Brad. But
yeah, didn't mean to rub that in. It was we didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah,
but
this product in the engine. But I'm getting a new one on Friday, hopefully.
well, that's good.
Oh,
That's
boy.
good. Yeah. But that's personally for us, right? Tylor and I did not want to rub it in. However, Mr. Chomps always asks the hard questions. So, Mr. Chomps has gone against puppies in the past. He doesn't he pulls no punches. So.
Oh. Well, tell Mr. Chomps that I'd like to meet him sometime and shake his claws.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, he appreciates any time anybody plays on Mr. Chomp's Swamp. So
it's a great map. I played it dozens of times.
yeah,
There you go.
Thank you.
Budding friendship.
Beyond that, so Brad, just to get a little basis on everything that we're talking about today. So a couple questions that we always ask everybody. One, how long have you been playing Heroclix? Two, what is your favorite figure of all time? Does not have to be competitive, meta, good, even.
I've been playing since Amazing Spider-Man, so like February 2012. I got into it because my friends quit playing Magic, so you just either stop coming up to the shop or we get into Heroclix. Thankfully, Spider-Man is one of my favorite characters in comics and TV shows, so it was easy to get into. And my favorite character to ever play with is Gizmo from Teen Titans. I've been a fan of the scientist keyword since 2013, I think.
Wait, from the Teen Titans set?
Yeah.
That was right before I started playing. The only thing I know about that set is how awful it is. I've never heard of Gizmo.
Oh, Gizmo is fantastic. You would love Gizmo. He's like 10 times better than Nathaniel Richards. He can eat up a light object and give every friendly character within 4 squares a attack power, standard attack power. Or he can eat up a heavy object and he can give every friendly character within 4 squares a damage power.
Dang.
And he can make his own light objects.
Yeah, so he can power action place a light, and then he can eat the light. I pulled him up because I've never actually played with him. So
that's awesome.
Back in the day, I made a team with Astral Strange from the Galactic Guardians, who could this is back in the 2014 rules and the 2010 rules, I believe, where you could do free actions at the beginning of the turn.
Yep.
So I would play 2 Gizmos with about like 20 Astral Stranges, and I would give them all the Astral Stranges Outwit and Poison. And a free action move.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
I loved it. It was great.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard of. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
As much as I enjoy playing 300 Modern, I also really enjoy playing the janky stuff and casual events because it gives me a chance to look back and see what's not being played. And let's see if I can implement it inside 300 Modern.
Okay. That's so funny. That's a cool figure.
That's I knew the Astral Strange trick from back in the day, but I never thought about giving them all poison.
Outwit and poison and free action move.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
And they were given a move action, so they could be given. They could use phasing with that.
Yeah, they can use phasing with their free action move.
That's funny.
That's really cool.
And they don't block line of fire, so after that I can still shoot with the Gizmos.
And for 2.
That's
okay.
That's hilarious. Or you could give the Astral Strange's actions to just in-cap too.
Yes, absolutely. My dreams were dashed once they finally got rid of the unavoidable damage that you could give to pushing characters as a cap. So my Astral Strangers are not as good. They keep making them worse with free actions being gone at the beginning of turn.
That's what they were trying to do with that change. Make
Yeah.
Astral Strange worse.
They get worse every new rules release.
Oh gosh, I think really what the problem with the free action was, I don't think it was the beginning of turn stuff. I think it was the fact that you could take free actions at the end of the turn.
That was also an issue. And this, I don't know how long you guys have been playing, but it was because of Sidestep, I believe, was my conspiracy theory, that they finally got rid of the free actions at the beginning and end of turn. Because of the ability to, with that new power coming into the game, it really messed up a lot of things.
Yeah,
Right.
Sidestep into leadership, sidestep into poison. There was a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, and then I think right there towards the end, in 2017, you also had the title characters with Sloth, getting near infinite title points.
Mm-hmm.
So
There were no title characters in Slosh.
Sloth, the Sloth.
Sloth.
Oh.
So yeah, what you would do was give Deadpool Merc with a Mouth, Tylor. You'd give him the Sloth relic, and then it would be this character can use Sidestep and modifies its defense value +1 at the end of your turn. If this character wasn't given any actions this turn, heal it of 1 damage.
Oh, yeah, I remember that stuff too. Yeah, where you would do stuff, you would heal, and then you would do stuff after. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but you would Deadpool would take 1, then he would heal 1, and then take 1, heal 1, take 1, heal 1.
Oh, for the infinite. I
Right.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. So like if you activate a plot point without doing an attack,
You take an unavoidable.
right. But then the next turn you'd be down 1, but then you could not do any actions with Sloth, heal 1, and then take 1.
You would do a free action.
Yeah, you would constantly stay on click number 2 with Deadpool pretty consistently, but then you could always just activate the plot point to heal and go from there.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's my tinfoil hat on the thing. But Deadpool Merc with a Mouth was a really good figure.
I think every Heroclix player has a conspiracy theory when it comes to Heroclix.
I do, for sure. I'm not ready to share it.
Oh man,
Talk to Pepe Sylvia about that.
the people want to hear it.
They will. I'm writing a manifesto about it.
Oh gosh, yeah. How I gave Dan food poisoning at 2018 Worlds.
A whale story.
Yeah, a whale story. Oh man, it's a colon. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
So I do try to we have fun with this podcast, and we don't really take ourselves too seriously. But I always try to, and keep the quality of the podcast to be of a acceptable level or a good level. But anyways, I listen to some other just random good podcasts and stuff while I mow, and I always try to listen to a Stuff You Should Know. And they always are like, books do not need colons in their titles. So
okay. That's one of their points. They hate it.
Yeah, it's just there's no really particular reason to bring that up other than you mentioned like your manifesto would have a whale story in it.
A whale story.
Yeah, and they're just like, that's just absolutely unnecessary. Just make it a part of the book title.
I don't want to. You need the dramatic pause.
It sounds grammatically incorrect.
Right. So, but Brad, just to wrap up with you, these days, you are out of Texas, right? You are a part of the Uncanny Clixmen, which is the northern half of Texas' team.
Yes, sir.
And you also host the Broadcast Show, online tournaments. Where where can they find out about the broadcast tournaments?
I have 2 Facebook thingamajigs. I forget the word is. A Facebook page and a group. So if you follow my Facebook page, the Broadcast Show, or join my Facebook group, the Broadcast Show discussion group, from there you can follow and see what teams are being played, what's winning, and I also like to support people like the Heroclix rules chat with their Clix Nexus when it comes to articles and rules notifications. I really enjoy that they stay up to date on that stuff because that really helps me be a better judge and better player.
Okay.
Yep. And the Uncanny Clix one. Right now we have about 15 active members.
That's respectable. No, it's not, because you can't be, but it's respectable.
Yeah, it's I think we believe quality over quantity. And Texas is it's not just North Texas as a scene. There's also South Texas over in Austin and Houston. Those guys over there, they like to compete as well, but they are more independent people down there.
Texas is too big.
That's what I was saying. North Texas, right? Because you've got Earthbound and Down is down there.
Earthbound and Down.
And then you used to have the Curators down there.
Team Juggernaut.
And Team Juggernaut over in Arkansas.
What was that? What, I can't even remember.
Team Ragnarok.
Yes, that was it. Yes. I'm like, man, I haven't heard from those guys in a while, but yeah.
They're on hiatus. The Juggernaut and the Ragnarok team.
Yep.
I think COVID really
took a lot of people.
Chat. Yeah. And but there's some people making a comeback. We've actually recruited 2 Juggernaut people to our team. Justin Robinson and Eric Mulheron.
Is it Mulheron?
I might have said it wrong. It might be Malarkey. I don't know.
I always did Mulhern. Maybe I'm just wrong. Okay.
I like to think I get it right on the first try. If that's not how you pronounce it, then his parents did it wrong.
Yeah.
It should be. It should be Mulheron. Mulheron.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, is that what you said, Brad? Was Mulheron?
He did.
Yeah, Mulheron.
Yeah, I know Eric listens to the show, so he'll correct us either way. So.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely get a message later on.
Yeah.
Mulheron. Yeah, Mulheron. I got to keep saying it right. Mulheron. Yeah, because it shouldn't be Mulheron or something. Yeah, there's no E there.
Eric, in fact, now that I mentioned Eric, he has his own conspiracy theory when it comes to that spoof Heroclix page. I forget what it's called at the moment.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. What was that?
Yeah.
But he thinks I'm the creator of the articles.
Oh,
I'm such a funny guy.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah,
I forgot about that thing. Yeah.
I haven't seen any articles lately, so
no, they've been quiet.
They've been quiet since last year.
And I was not active last year when he was making these articles, and now that I am active, he's no longer making articles.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So real quick before we hop into the current meta, I do want to answer one question about from I think it's Jabin BINNENDYK, and he is asking about the distribution of Rise and Fall, and I am because it happened to me, so I am upset about it. Now I don't know how widespread it is, but it seems to me that every time there is a change in how a set is done, we have problems with distribution. So, Superior Foes of Spider-Man had the what was it called? The unpainted figures. What were they were called?
Yeah.
They were called something else though.
Yeah.
And there were cases and bricks without. Yeah, I don't remember what it was called, but there was cases and bricks without them, without chases. And then the first time that we had, it was also the first time we had the new cards with Spider-Man.
This is Dan's conspiracy theory.
It is. So I'll just continue. I want to continue through all my conspiracy theories here. So then after that, we had Deadpool and the X-Force with the Ultra Chase, which is something that we have seen with this new set, is that the Ultra Chases have been fairly regionalized. And that if a store gets one Ultra Chase, it seemingly gets 2 or 3. Because I've seen more than one case. You know, Alex got 2 Ultra Chases. I saw somebody else post that they got 2 fairly back to back, and then but the Unicorn pool from that set had instances where stores. I remember a picture during that time of someone said, "We pulled 3 at our pre-release tonight," and then the rest of the country was, other parts of the country were like, "Well, we got Pirate Deadpool or whatever, and Golden Age Deadpools, and we got junk." So then I don't really think, then they kind of straightened everything out, right? We got the cards figured out. We got the Ultra Chase figured out by the time we got to ABPI. But then House of X came. House of X had distribution issues because of the new sculpt changes.
Oh.
Then we
They also switched production.
That's right. Switch production. You're right. So there was a change that was made, right? They can't seemingly make a change within this distribution model. So, but then Future Foundation was fine. Wonder Woman was fine. Now this set, I forget what the change is. There was a new change. The Prime change.
The Primes.
The Prime change, right? So we get 2 rare Primes, 2 super rare Primes, instead of common, uncommon, super rare. And then it's all messed up. There's cases without chases. There's bricks without a Prime or a chase. And to me,
there's bricks with 2 Emperor Gladiators.
Right.
Or not bricks. There's
cases. Duplicate cases, right?
Right.
We've seen duplicate bricks within a case. Is that what happened?
Case.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was a sealed case, duplicate bricks within the case. Now, here's the thing. WizKids has a blanket out, right? Because they never guaranteed distribution. They, whatever, right? They have an out. I get that.
Yeah.
And that's okay. From a businessman perspective, they have an out. But for me, every time that a corporation makes a change, it shouldn't cause this widespread problem. And I said I was only going to buy 1 case. I broke down and bought a second case, and then I got slammed with it for my second case, and it was essentially $250. I only got about half the value out of the case.
I want to say for all the misfortunes that people have had with these cases, WizKids has stepped up with the customer service. If you have had these bad bricks, you just have to be part of the Facebook groups to know who to contact.
You can email them and stuff.
And they follow up. They hook you up. May not be exactly what you want, but
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You just have to message them at customer service at WizKids.com and say, "Hey, here's a picture of all the stuff I received. Please hook me up."
Yeah, but I would say, in general, Brad, while that's a fine fix, and it has gotten way better than the past.
Before it was awful.
Yeah, before it was awful, right? But it's still awful, right? To me, it's a very bad look whenever, and I'm just gonna, whenever myself, right, and then Scott Crampton did it as well.
Mentioned as well, yeah.
Well, no, because he opened it live. I opened up a brick live with no prime or chase in it, and then Scott did the same thing. Right, so you have.
There's also that one video that somebody posted with their. I saw it on Facebook with the boosters in the garbage, and the title was "Worst Case Ever" or something like that.
Right,
and it was on fire, right?
Yeah, then they burnt
Maybe
down all
that,
their.
Yeah.
They only burnt the empty boxes, so they
Okay.
were not quite committed to their anger. But yeah, so it's a bad look now. So I mean, I get it. It's very great that they're going to cover for these things, or do some customer service.
For every person that's on Facebook, there's got to be at least 5 people that are on Facebook in these groups that are getting these bad bricks, and just are getting turned off by the game.
I mean, depending on how widespread the issue is, and it seems like this is a pretty widespread issue.
Yeah.
You guys, it's real easy. Like, I'm not affected by this at all. Just don't buy a product, then you're fine.
And my solution for this would be something like a recall of sorts. Like when they had.
Well, they did it. That 1 year at Origins, they said, "Hey guys, we messed up distribution. We know. Come to our booth, and we will exchange."
And that was for Deadpool. That was Deadpool in the X-Force, actually. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you could just trade it up. Well, they've acknowledged it in the past, so and this one does seem as bad as that time, so it would make sense if they would want to reach out to do something. But that, obviously they did that in an event, and there's no events this year, so.
Right. I agree.
Trying hunting over vinegar first. There's a gentleman, his name escapes me, but he brought up the case for a class action lawsuit. I don't think that should be the first step.
No, that guy. He's something else. Yeah.
He's passionate. Let's say.
Yeah, he's very passionate about the game, which I can appreciate.
Yeah.
That was a negative for sure.
Yeah, trust me, I'm not suggesting any sort of wild action here.
Well, I mean,
I'm just saying. My point is that it's a very bad look, for them to be making these changes, and then, the set, making these changes that are, seemingly good changes, right? Like no more common primes, no more uncommon primes, right? That's a good change, right? There should be more value.
Bigger sculpts,
right?
High quality design.
Yeah, I love the bigger sculpts, right? Like I was never not a fan of the bigger sculpts, but I mean, you have that coupled with the shipping delays. Now I understand they can't do anything about the shipping delays, but the collation issues is something that I believe they should be able to do something about, and it was just a fail on this set. And so, but you couple that with the shipping issues, and it makes a lot of people upset, and understandably so.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like especially because it sucks. I mean, I know that not to completely crap on WizKids, but it does suck if you save up $250 for a case, and that's like the one case you can get, and then it's there's no chase in there. Like that would feel like really bad. So coalition is so it is really important, and the WizKid gets it right, and they do get it wrong.
If you're a new player who they try to get people on with.
And
so it is something.
And it does affect you, Tylor.
Maybe, it does, because secondary pricing and things.
Well, it does, because if nobody buys the product, then there's no singles for you to buy.
Right, yes.
Nor are there teammates who buy and supply your team. Now, I get that you don't necessarily have to have a teammate to do that. But I am awful convenient for you.
In this incredibly hypothetical situation you've constructed, I suppose that could affect me in some way, maybe.
Or the box of clicks that I received back that went to Florida and back. We're not very hypothetical.
I am playing in a tournament this Saturday where I am borrowing every single piece on my team, including maps.
Yeah, borrowing is great. Even everyone will say borrow. People should borrow. People should lend. It makes the meta more diverse. It makes people be able to play more that maybe couldn't. Borrowing's awesome.
But
we appreciate those that allow us.
Right, but my point there is that somebody has to buy.
Yeah.
And for borrow to happen, and so the buy people, have to be in good spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like 100% on board with you. It's a very big issue when distribution is off, and it has a big effect, and it happens often enough that it should be something that WizKids probably would be looking into.
Are you okay, Tyler? You sound kind of far away when you backpedal that much.
Oh, hey! That was my original point!
Oh man. All right, so let's hop into just some meta stuff, and I think that we can probably, we have some results to talk about. We have some upcoming events to talk about as well, and we have some questions. So I want to make sure that we don't rush through the questions at the end of the show. So I think some of the questions could guide us through our discussion here.
Okay, sure.
So the first one being from Jeff Dumas. Does Rise and Fall make Tylor want to play Juggernaut yet?
No. I want to play Juggernaut. I still do. He might see a lot. I was thinking about the other day. He's definitely worth another look because of how good he is against Blackheart, right? Because he gets through the stop clicks. They said you can't use the stop clicks, which means that he doesn't get to generate his guys even. And he reduced his penetrating damage, which Blackheart does a lot of, and he reduces the Mystics damage that Juggernaut Blackheart does. So he at least for that, with that being so prevalent, he's worth another look for sure.
Right, but I think the lack of the arms hurts him, right? The octopus arms, right? So he's stuck with, say, like Waldo arms or Power Gem.
Yeah, and Waldo arms is definitely not as good as the other arms used to be.
I think you might see some Juggernaut play, or at least not main force, but a sideline at the very least for Magneto. And does your Juggernaut have the X-Men keyword?
Does who?
Does your Juggernaut have the X-Men keyword?
Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah.
So, yeah, at the very least, at 100 points, you might be able to see a Juggernaut on some sidelines.
Yeah, it's an easy switch for... even if you want to main force him so you can switch him with... what's that dude's name? Gladiator, Emperor Gladiator Prime.
Yeah, the Prime.
It's the same points. I think there's not another 100-point Juggernaut or X-Men that you'd want to include.
Not off the top of my head, but you would have to do some math to make some magic happen to get him on the main force.
Yeah, which I'm not. I'm already exhausted by the switch out teams. I'm already exhausted. Not that I'm not even gonna play switch out teams. Just everybody else, and then talking about all this math and I gotta fit this on my team. I'm just sick of it. I'm sorry. Ugh.
And we haven't even had an event yet.
I know.
I have had 2 switch out teams on my tournament side, which Tyler did play one.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, mine's kind of a switch out team because I make the same change.
Yeah.
No one, I just make the same change every game just to get the extra hog.
Right now, the Kate Pride. That's the her value has almost doubled since Rise and Fall has come out.
She's like $45 now.
Yep.
Which she should be, because if you're playing, she fits on both switch out teams because she has Hellfire too.
Yeah,
So,
Hellfire and X-Men.
If you're playing X-Men or Hellfire teams, it's just wrong if she's not on your main force, pretty much. Because if you win map, you get a free perplex pog that sidesteps.
How do you guys feel about going over a rule dispute I'm having with my teammates when it comes to switch out?
I mean,
Sure.
I'm okay with it. We should talk about it.
I would say that we may not necessarily be right, but we'll do our best.
Well, you guys are smarter than I am, and I just want to be right.
Yeah, what
but right now, I'm trying to main force 2 Magnetos with Professor X. Not Magnetos, Gambits. 2 50-point Gambits from the House of X set. And I want to be able to switch out 2 of them for 2 Medusas.
You can't.
I can't, is what the argument is with my teammates.
Yeah, you
Let me
can't.
see.
Because it's got to be different names.
Well,
yeah, that's their argument.
But that's just in the rule. That's just in the switch out wording. It's got to be different words.
all replacement and replaced characters must have and different names. Yeah, so you can't do it, right?
So if you want 2 Gambits, it's the same way you get 2 Blackhearts on your team. You got to start.
You just play a different 50-point person.
Yeah, you've got.
Well, I just want the option to bring in 2 Medusas if I need to.
Well, then that's
why do you think you can? I'm just wondering.
Oh no, you can't bring in 2 Medusas. That's just not going to. You have to start with a Medusa to get 2 Medusas.
No, I tried to switch out a Medusa for a Medusa. I'm trying to switch out a Gambit for a Medusa and a Gambit for a Medusa.
All replacement and replaced characters must have and a different name. So they must have a different name. So you can't switch out 2 Gambits because they have the same name.
Okay.
All replacement and replaced characters must have different names. Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay. Yeah, you can't bring in 2 Medusas in that under any circumstances. You'd have to have that. You would have the only way to get 2 Medusas main force is to start with one, and then you would have to have the Illuminati theme team to start out with.
Yeah.
So you're just a minute, because you're reading it. I'm seeing it now. All replacement and replaced characters. So you think that it's every set has to be different. So you can't switch out a Magneto for a Magneto.
No, I'm just trying to switch out a Gambit for a Medusa and another Gambit for a Medusa.
Okay. Right, which I think no, you're reading it wrong. It's just the whole set. I understand your argument, but my understanding is that the whole set, it's treated like a whole set of swap outs. Think of it as a team leaves and a team comes back in, and they all have to be different.
That's probably mine too. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that's probably the way that works best to explaining it to me, because so far I've been in a strong disagreement. I think it might be because I just want it to work so badly.
Sure, that's fair.
Just because I love the team, and then I found out it didn't work.
It's a lot of rules problems aren't actually rules problems; they're just English problems because English is so some of the grammar structures don't make sense.
You should
my original build. I'm sorry,
Brad. You should see the things that I really want to work, and the guys really don't want them to work.
He's got a list.
There's also Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four set, the Tylor character. I so badly wanted to replace him from a side onto the main force, and as soon as I finished the build, I realized it didn't work because he can't replace title.
That is true.
It just was so upset. I was like, now I could bring Melton out in the starting area.
Yeah. Title characters are weird.
They are.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
What
I
was the
think
question?
I think so. Yeah, but I think to solve your problem, Brad, if you want 2 Medusas, you're going to have to start with the Illuminati theme team, and then swap out to a second Medusa.
Or have to break theme.
Yeah, which is not always wrong.
Is not always wrong, yeah, because you could just include a team of Illuminati, Shi'ar, and X-Men pieces on your main force and swap them out.
And that's just more homework that I'm not ready to deal with.
Yeah.
Actually, that's probably less. That's less homework, because if you're trying to do theme, then you're limited by your main force, your starting main force. So, from just an analytics perspective,
it probably cuts down.
Because it does, because then on your left-hand side of your comparison, you just have all of your point values, and then you just have the arithmetic on the right-hand side of characters and point values to swap out to in your right column.
For sure.
So it's less work to go non-theme. So it's just more versatile.
It just makes my decision easier to add 25 points for Professor X and 30 points for Molecule Man, and then go from there.
That's right. Because you can play Molecule Man on unthemed, which is always a good choice. And you can then that gives you like options to have the Commissioner, which is always good.
Yeah, right.
I have a rules question too for you, Dan. This one is interesting to me. Okay. Maybe this should be like a segment. Okay, so I'm playing Blackheart. Their turn 1 goes, or no? I'm playing Blackheart. It's my turn 1. I move up halfway across the board and then stop. Okay, their turn 1. They kill something, and then they mind control my Blackheart. Does the Blackheart have penetrating damage?
Oh gosh, we talked about this one, right?
But no, we did, and we figured that out. But this is even worse because it said if a character has been KO'd since your last turn, but it's their turn 1, so they don't have a last turn, but it says since your last turn.
Well, I think that one makes sense, right? Because you can retell off of Mystics.
Yeah,
can you? If it's turn 1?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think that's ever been ruled.
You can place, but you can attack.
No. This problem has never been brought up. No one has ever asked.
So
can they retail turn?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's asked the question. So the wording is, if a character, so Heart of Darkness on Blackheart says, if a character has been KO'd since your last turn, Blackheart deals penetrating damage. So if it's like turn 5 and you've KO'd something, if I've KO'd something, then I mind control Blackheart. That Blackheart now deals penetrating damage. Or if I've, if I mind control if I mind control, say 5 Blackhearts or 2 Blackhearts and they kill a Cape Pride, then that second Blackheart can deal penetrating damage. So the question is, so that's just one thing, right? So Heart of Darkness, if a character has been KO'd since your last turn, Blackheart deals penetrating damage. And then in comparison, Dark Phoenix says, if no other character, blah, 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 choose an opposing character that attacked Dark Phoenix or damaged a friendly character since your last turn. What Tylor is asking is, if a last turn has not happened yet, does that still apply? And I'm inclined to say yes, but I don't know if there's actually a rules.
There's not, for sure.
Yeah,
that's very interesting.
From my perspective, there's still a way to do it on the very first turn. Because let's say that Tylor did move up his Blackheart. And then you attacked it with a Mystics on my first turn after he passes, I attack Blackheart. that means Dark Phoenix can still retaliate on Blackheart.
Well, so I can't damage you on your first turn, right?
Well, no. If I move out of my starting area.
Yeah, if you move out of your starting area and then it's my turn, I hit you. Then it's your turn.
Before you get back to your turn, I hit Blackheart on my turn 1.
Oh, can you see? I don't think you can. I would say no.
So I think really the answer there is either the answer is the three of us don't know, or or it's a win question, or somebody will correct us and tell us.
I like to go with the third one. I hope Chad listens.
Yes, somebody.
So, I don't know. So I think for our event coming up next week, at least for you and I, Tyler, is Aaron will be there and will get us a right answer. I guess we can always ask in our group too. So
it's a really interesting question that popped up when I was playing Blackheart and I didn't know the answer to it.
That's really. I hate when you bring me these questions, Tyler.
Right.
To be in context, this actually happened in Brad's tournament, so that's where it came from. Where I realized that this was a problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
my perceived problem.
I think we're just going to have to seek other guidance, which we can do here real soon. So.
Tournament results.
Let's go. Yeah, so next. That was all from Jeff's question. Does Tyler make you want to play Juggernaut? And the answer is no, because he wants to play Blackheart. So
TBD.
Yeah, so I think everything else is new stuff, right? So we want to give a couple of shout outs to some folks that have been winning recently, because we haven't got to do that. We don't get to do that as often as we used to. So Calder Ness won up in South Dakota for their
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he won up there for their Master Mold event, which you think I don't know, it's about the closest thing we've got to a WKO in the past 18 months.
Yeah.
I mean, there was 13 people showing up for a $200 figure, so that is somewhat, I think, fairly relevant.
Yeah, for sure.
And he won with the non-themed good stuff that Joe Owls has been winning with in Brad's events. So congrats to both of them. And then it almost made a three-peat, but Calvin Truvillian whooped up on PJ in the finals of the Columbus event, where PJ was also playing. He was also where PJ was also playing the good stuff. I don't know. No, I didn't read your comment. I don't think. What was your comment?
Never mind. It's people who don't know. Yeah, that's true. Well, he was playing a cool Onslaught team, right?
Yeah. So Calvin was playing Onslaught, Sky Tyrant, and Harry. Yeah.
That leaves 75 points.
There were and Doom.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, Swappy.
That's a cool team.
Yeah, Swappy Doom. So
nice and clean.
I love that it's non-theme.
Yeah, no theme, no extra objects, and
Unseen and Harry is tough to get through for sure.
I will say, if you're not playing Molecule Man, you better be playing Harry Leland.
Yeah, even you have to play Harry Leland. Go ahead.
Or if you just play Harry Leland with barrier, they'll never be able to punch out the barrier.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's even you need Harry Leland and something that can't be shot, right? Or else they just shoot you.
Yeah.
Right.
So Onslaught's really good for that. Yeah, that's a cool team.
Yeah. Calvin went through the event pretty well too. So.
I mean, if he beat PJ with playing that team, that's very hard to do. So.
Right. All the credit to Calvin here. PJ might have a little bit different story. The story that you're hearing here today is that Calvin whooped PJ up and down the convention center hallway.
Played him like a drum.
Beat him like a drum. But now if you were to ask PJ, PJ would tell you that the only damage he dealt to that team was, I think, what did he say, 2 poison damage from Black Vulcans and 1 hit from another character. Because he rolled.
So maybe not PJ's best.
Beat him like a drum.
Beat him like a drum is what you're hearing here today, folks. So,
Very diplomatic.
Yeah. Oh.
So I mean, that leaves a pretty big wide berth for unthemed good stuff. But now there was one thing I did want to mention, as far as like the top 4 that I've seen in Sioux Falls, and a gentleman. It was Ian Eagleston. I know Ian is a. Nope, it was not Ian. I'm sorry. It was Jonah Fleming, and now Jonah I think is in our group. But Jonah played a variant of the team that I've been playing, but he didn't include the flashes, and he included Mr. Oz instead, and a Dark Phoenix. So it was minus the flashes and the objects, and plus Dark Phoenix and Mr. Oz. Now, I'm not quite sure. He was 2nd seed, so he only lost to Calder in round 1, and I think he lost to, I forget if he lost to Kevin or Calder in top 4. But the issue that I have with those 2 changes, and I don't know why Jonah didn't play the 2 flashes, right? Or the objects. So the Batman emotional modifier interaction is just crazy good. And then with the loss of the first flash, right? The Oz takes up the ability of the first flash, or the second flash, but you lose a whole secondary attacker and equipper when you lose the charged flash, and a lot of the offense just goes down on the team.
Charged flash provides a lot of the punch.
Yeah, probably a lot of the punch for Bat Doom team, along with Sky Tyrant, obviously. And we lost Brad, so hopefully Brad comes back here soon.
He messaged me he'll be back. His laptop died.
Okay, that's fine. But the problem is, and Tyler, you probably don't know this yet, but the flashes on eBay are currently at, what would you guess?
Before you asked me this question, I would have guessed 80.
Okay. When we looked earlier, they were at $130.
Oh, wow.
Right.
I'm just never playing a Flash team. I'm just not going to do it.
Just
I don't care.
Never going to be able to. Right. I mean,
the bad thing is, I think they might be worth it because of how good they are.
Right. They are, right? So, like, I look at Jonah's team, right? And just, and I'm just being very open and honest here, right? About the difference, how small differences make huge changes. And then on the maps, he had WWE Arena, and so that means he didn't have Glen Grove Cemetery, which is an expensive map, nor did he have any of the map bonus maps. So a Reign of Terror came in Cosmic Clash. It was $40. And I'm not saying that like Jonah didn't play these things because he didn't have the money to do so, but the peasant map is also quite expensive, right? So I don't know. It's just there's a lot of cost in some of these things that makes a huge difference in how a team plays.
Yeah, for sure. That's the stuff that's most expensive is most expensive for a reason, for sure.
Right.
It's because it makes the optimal those small optimizations.
Right. Now, I would say his sideline, he did have Sorcerer Supreme, he had Doom 67, and he had Lord Doom. So
that's about all you need.
That's only really the 3 that you need. I'm not going to make an argument to include DJ Doom.
No.
Over.
No, right now.
Yeah, no. I'll still play DJ Doom because I think there's some matchups where he's just necessary. I haven't ran into that matchup, but I know what it is in my head.
Man, the more I play against it, the more I think Alchemical Fire might be worth playing DJ, just so you can stop them from using it. That thing's real strong.
To be fair, Silly Me should also include that against emotional modifier matchups.
Yeah, you could do that. That would work.
Yeah.
Exactly on your team, and you should make that change.
Yeah, I should. I don't even. I don't even have to make that. I don't even have to write the piece on there. It is already on my build sheet. All I have to do is to just do that. So if I lose map and go against an emotional modifier, just include DJ Doom. I just play DJ Doom and steal their emotional modifier should they equip it. So
seems like a very good thing to do.
Right. That would have made a big difference in some of my games.
Yeah. Oh. Yep. Right. That's why DJ Doom is good.
Yeah. So and he's got another outwit. So and you get a free time platform. Or he in the swap out instance, he would get the time platform. So he's really resilient as well.
No, you get the emotional modifier. Well, you would just get the emotional modifier in that matchup.
Oh, that's right. So I would have, I don't know, I would be able to give my own figures Battle Fury.
Yes, you would. I wouldn't recommend that, but you can do something else.
Well, I could, right? I could, maybe old Sky Tyrant needs some Battle Fury and needs to carry old DJ Doom with him.
Sure.
So
all the -1 to defenses or something.
Yeah, that's true too. Now I don't get the dice, but
it might be worth it.
Yeah. So just include the old DJ Doom on the sideline. So
there you go.
But yeah, so that's like a difference if you look in the event the South Dakota and you see Jonah's team and if Jonah listens, feel free to provide us some feedback. About why you played that version of the team, right? Just be honest with us, right? Don't be mad at us. This is all very just.
Why would you be mad?
I don't know.
You're making it weird, Dan.
I'm trying to not make it weird because
you didn't.
I didn't, but
now it's weird. I'm sorry, Jonas.
I'm sorry. It is not Jonas. It is Jonah. So
damn it. All right.
But I try to be gentle because sometimes people since the pandemic has started, people are rude online more so, seemingly more so than they used to be. So.
I didn't catch a lot of lockdown online.
Didn't catch a lot of what, Brad? What did you say, Brad?
I didn't catch a lot of flack online. Just for being.
He's being PC. That's fine, everybody.
It's all good. So
I'm very diplomatic, Tyler.
Yeah, you are.
I wanted to bring up the Azereth team. It was really in Ohio. Remember that team? It's really cool. It's a +9 Spider Family team, and it's basically Batman Spider Family. So Spider Ham. I have
Batman Prime.
Nathaniel Richards, Leonardo Venom, Lex.
You're cutting out. You're cutting out, Tyler.
Yeah, you're cutting out, Tyler.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was me for a second. Yeah.
Test 1, 2.
So yeah, you're good. So Azra's team, a Spider-Man family with Batman Prime. So you had Hammer Eye, Two Flashes, Molecule Man, Batman Prime, Marvella, Nathaniel Richard, Leonardo da Venom, and a Lex Luthor Troublemaker on the main force.
So
Yeah,
scientist mixed with martial arts mixed with Spider-Man family.
Right. And so you also get access to barrier from Molecule Man and Marvella. I think compared to what we were talking about, though, here, Azarus team is like, it's like an alternate version. It's like the Bat Doom if you don't have access to the Dooms, but it is still like completely kitted out.
It's more the Scientist team even than the Batman team. Because it's, Flash, Marvel Man, Molecule Man, and Nathaniel Richards, right? Are all on that team.
Right.
But yeah, it's a lot of good figures.
But it also gives Batman the ability to shoot for four damage Psyblast without equipping.
Right. Turn 1, right? Or turn 2?
What turn?
Nathaniel Richards.
Yeah, turn.
Yeah.
Turn that there's no first turn immunity.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, Nathaniel Richards gives him pen psych, and then he's able to use that with his drop the mic thing to and you have he has Lex Luthor for enhancement, a 10-point enhancement, which is great.
Lex Luthor gives you enhancement. The second Flash can give you enhancement. Additionally, Leonardo da Venom has the Shield team ability, and the team has wild cards.
2 wild cards,
so that you can get it up to 4 damage.
Yeah, this is a really cool team. I like it a lot. How they built it.
Yeah, so
Right.
It's very, very sharp, right? And you got to remember too that you can also. So we also talk about how Molecule Man, builds barrier, right? But the other big thing Molecule Man does is tear down barrier. All depending on that role, but I think Spider now in this particular version of the team, you'd have to go to the TK Flash, but you would be able to choose which Flash you go to by looking at their build sheet. I.e., do you have a shit ton of barrier? I need to go to the TK Flash. So you can
and it's.
Go ahead, Tyler.
I was just gonna say it's not. I forget what I was gonna say. I just really like this team. I think it's good enough to beat a lot of the teams out there. Like because of what you're saying and getting through barrier, which is so prevalent right now. And it's. Even if you lose Batman, it's still a really good team, right? Spider-Hammer is a good attacker. Flash is a great attacker. Leonardo da Venom is not nothing. His other stuff that he does can be good on the... He's got Marvella for empowers for his Spider-Ham and his Flash. So yeah, I like this team a lot. I think it's really cool.
And you got to remember that Leonardo da Venom also has his global effect on Perplex and Outwit.
Yep. Oh yeah, but the max range, right?
Yeah,
it's 4, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that can mess up a lot of positioning.
Sure.
And he has Outwit and Perplex himself, and he flies. So, for assuming you're not facing like a Doom 67, and you play barrier yourself, that team has the ability to TK out like Marvella, and then Molecule Man can get carried. Molecule Man moves up, and then Marvella can carry Molecule Man to tear down barrier, and then Batman can shoot with the 4th action.
I'd be very tempted to drop Marvella for a Yancey Street Gang guy.
What does he do?
He has Empower, I think Sidestep. But he also has the Underworld team ability.
Right.
Hammer could carry out...
Right, Hammer is the big one.
Hammer would carry out the Molecule Man.
Right.
Yeah, I think Marvella gets out pretty far still.
She can get out 6+2 with TK.
8, yeah. So it's 8 and 6 is 14. You place in 15. That should be enough.
Right, and then you got Molecule Man's 8 range.
But the Flash could charge with the Yancey Street Gang guy. But I just looking at builds to see what I can do to tweak him. But this is a really great build. So
right,
yeah, it's super cool.
But I mean, the Flash would be able to
like
charge carrying Molecule Man too, right?
You can be able to carry both.
If you
have the Underworld.
if you have the Underworld. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Oh, Nathaniel Richards has Empower too. He has 2 Empowers on his team with 2 Flurry characters and a Spider Ham. This is cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of good value. And this goes to the math that Devin Owens was talking about. The average point value for the team is going to be around 35 to 40 points. He did a lot of math for the quick cut. And it's crazy how hyper efficient all these low point value pieces are right now.
I mean, you can just do it, right? Shouldn't the average be... Yeah, the average should be like 33 because it's 9 and it's 300.
Well, Hammer Eyes was 65 points, so that's what throws off the increased value.
No, you just do...
Yeah, you're not discounting for objects, and then they're not characters. So it's actually,
he has emotional modifier.
It's less.
So it's even less. Yeah, right, it'd be like 32% or 32. Is the average point value?
Yeah. 32 and a 15th or so.
Yeah, it's real low. Yeah, Devin said the average point value of all the pieces at Clix Cup was 38 points. Is the average Heroclix point value right now? Like.
So if you're
maggots are an above average point cost right now.
Yeah,
right.
So is Batman Prime.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense, right? And to me, so if we kind of want to shift into a little bit of future stuff, right? Aaron Morgan asked about Master Mold and the Gene Bomb and that kind of stuff. So, but Master Mold, right, becoming legal, Fulcrum becoming legal beyond post Clix Cup, that just lowers the average in general, right? Because they're 25. And
they should be everywhere.
They should be
25 points for leadership, 25 points for retail.
Yeah. And then Master Mold has like a retally option too, right?
Yeah, if you attack or damage Master Mold, he can retail.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think if if in general, if 25-point Master Mold is able to get out a Psych Sentinel once per game,
that's you got a lot more than your value.
That's huge value. Now I know at 200 points he could do it every turn potentially, but I think the issue comes in is like Secret Six just ruined temp poles.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, just in general, right? At least for these major events, right? Like, I know if I'm going to the Tank Open down there in Oklahoma, that like Caleb has played that team pretty successfully, and that's a good one to see there. So it's just one of those things. Like, you could do probably pretty well with the tent pole, which I'm saying drove the average up in general.
Right.
But if you look at like what Tylor played earlier this year with Captain Marvel and stuff, right? That was 95. We expect to see Emperor Gladiator come out at 100, but there's still 5 to 7 other pieces on that team in the 200 points, lowering back down the average.
Yeah, points are just so efficient right now that, like, I made a comment on Facebook, and it, like, animal is a pretty prominent keyword right now. Monster is a pretty prominent keyword right now. Wendigo is not good enough to play. Like, he might be, but he's not being played very much, right? He's not very relevant in the meta, even though those 2 keywords are amazing. So, like, that's how hyper efficient points have become. Or Wendigo is being outcompeted.
Yes, they go 3-0 a couple of weeks ago.
He can for sure, but he used to be,
Secret 16.
Like a year ago, we were, everybody was like, Wendigo is the example of why points have become so efficient, and now he's not seeing much play, even though he has some 2 really good keywords.
he's just so easy to kill now. Because of the other
Yeah.
hyper efficient points out there.
Yeah, and he doesn't offer any like support to your team, like something like Mark Vela does, right? Barrier, empower, sidestep carry, wildcard team ability.
Right. Someone was sending me a team and it was Monster and they had 3 Wendigos on there and I'm like, the Wendigos too just get left behind.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. There's no good. Well, there's not many good retails in the game anymore. Right? So you can't just, like, that's what you used to do on Monster, right? You could just leave back a Carnage, and it's still incredible for your team because it's going to retail. Wendigo doesn't do that. He has to be actually used.
Yeah. When you're building with Wendigo now, you have to think about your actions for each turn. You have the actions to actually do something with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and moving him is not a valid action. In most situations, like, oh, I'm going to move this Wendigo up with my 4th action. No, that 4th action should be used on something attacking.
Yeah,
attacking, using barrier, equipping something.
Any number of things, right? But just saying, I'm going to move up this Wendigo 8 squares. Probably not.
Not the best use of an action.
Not really, right? And especially with Doom 67 being, a thing in these events too, right?
Always a threat.
Yeah.
You guys think anybody's going to start playing? I want to come to Huntsville and just have 3 Doctor Things, just to screw with the people that are all going to be playing Switch Out,
and just not play any other.
Not
Dooms.
Switch Out. Yeah, just play 3 of those. Be like, nope, that is the team that you brought. That is what you're playing. You're playing me with 2 Kate Bishops.
Oh man, because So like, do you mind to share your thought process real quick, Tylor? And we'll use this example towards that. Do you mind to share what you're thinking about playing for Huntsville? Or do you
my team, the current, what I'm kind of leaning towards. Well, I'm leaning towards it for sure. Is 2 black. Well, my on paper team is 2 Kate Bishops, a Blackheart, a Magneto, and Kate Pride. Yep, Kate Pride, and Harry Leland, and then I would swap out the Magneto for a Dark Phoenix every game, and I would swap out Kate Pride for a Blackheart every game. So, but if I show up and they have those 3, they're just like, you're not switching out, you're not switching out, you're not switching out.
Right,
but
they would just say on your sideline, you can't bring in Blackheart, you can't bring in Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah, and then they could even switch out one extra, thing. I just want to do it. Just it'd be so funny.
Right.
Just ruin all the math they've been doing for a month.
Right. That would be hilarious, right? Like, all right, well, I guess I'm playing with 2 Kate Prides and a Magneto and a Blackheart.
Yeah. It does not seem optimal, my friend. I don't know why you built that team.
Right, and that's funny because they could theme that fairly easily, and get to go first, and then get to swap out their Doctor Things.
Yeah, if you win map, you can just have the best, Dooms to play with.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny. I'm not sure how good it is, but
but
Doctor
actually kind of good against Mystics. So
yeah, he's not an awful character at all by any means.
Right, but you also have to think too, Tylor. You also ruin the other Doom teams as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's funny.
Yeah, it is. It is funny. It would be funny to do. Anyway.
Yeah.
Watch out for that.
Yeah, that's fine. He's got a 19, so it's not terrible and invincible. So
yeah.
But most likely, if you win, you're swapping him out. If you win map.
If he wasn't outwittable, he would be so much better. But he is.
So that means that you would be able to swap out Dr. Thing if you win map. You could ruin their swap out team and then get Doom 67, Sorcerer Supreme, and Lord Doom on your main force.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
I think
and there's like
there's still
great keywords.
There's still 75 points left on that team too, by the way.
Yeah, great
So,
keywords.
reading the second part of that trait, it says if Dr. Thing is on his starting click, the chosen sideline team element can't be brought into the game. So would that trait carry over to the new replacement character?
Oh no, I guess you got to keep Dr. Thing out. Yeah, that's true.
No, because their switch out is the beginning of the game, so they would.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I thought we're talking.
Then you switch out.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, beginning of game timing. Brad.
Yeah, that's why you have to win because you make them swap out first.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, he has Latveria. I mean, you can't do the because you wouldn't be playing with an Annihilating Conqueror. But you could easily throw in 30-point VVD.
And a Molecule Man.
And a Molecule Man. That's 60 right there. And then
just objects or something.
Couple objects and then a free map bonus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're not even affected by the losing keywords from Annihilating Conqueror. You know,
they all got Latveria.
That's you know, I think you might low key be sharing a really good team.
That team. Yeah.
I'm not even mad at it, right?
Yeah, I want someone to play it. It would be really funny, especially in Huntsville, because everybody's so excited to play these new swap out teams. All the best players are going to show up with this team they've been doing math on for a month, and then they sit and there's 3 Lord Dooms and says, "Well, that's what you brought. That's what you're playing. Like, let's roll the dice." It'd just be so funny to me.
Right.
I would laugh if you got first place with that.
Yeah. Oh,
that's funny. Yeah, because that would be a 5 theme team.
Yeah, +5 Latveria.
That's
not the worst.
It's not the worst, right? Yeah,
not the worst.
I mean, you could also
the switch out's normally only a +6, I think. Maybe a 7, 6 or 7.
Yeah, I've seen 6 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, you can even go a little bit more fluffy with like armor. And that gets you like access to Nathaniel Richards and
hell, you could go brute and get like those 5-point dudes, the 5-point brutes.
Friends of Humanity.
Yeah, just be like a +10 theme team or something. Oh,
I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah, you have Proteus too, 10-point brute.
It's the uncommon one, so he's 20.
I think they both have brute, don't they?
I'm looking at it right now.
One's monster, one's brute.
Okay. But 20-point one's
no,
good,
they're both monster.
Oh, they're both monster.
The 20-point one is the 20-point one is
the brute.
Is the brute. Yeah.
Because the other one is so much more civil, apparently.
Right. The other one heals.
Yeah, if you miss with the attack.
That's I'm not even that's hilarious, Tylor.
I know.
Oh, I don't know if it's good enough, but
I don't either, but it's fun enough.
I mean, but you'd have 15 I mean, but like on the Latveria version, you'd have 15 points left for a spin.
You could just run it as a +8.
Wait a minute, no, that's a 3 and a 5 on Latveria.
Well, 3 Friends of Humanity.
Yeah, 3 Friends of Humanity makes it a +8.
No, I mean you can't switch keywords because there's no Annihilating Conqueror. So if you went brute, you would have to.
Oh, you couldn't play the other guys. Yeah.
Right.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, what is the optimal keyword? Because armor doesn't have any. Doesn't look like armor has any fluffy stuff, but it has some pretty beefy.
Armor's a really good keyword.
Oh, you can just armor. You can just play Sky Tyrant because he has armor.
Sure, why not?
One of the what's his name? You mentioned him earlier. The guy that can't shoot within 4.
Onslaught.
Onslaught. Does he have armor?
He does. That's a good keyword for sure. Nathaniel Richards has it as well.
Yeah. But no, sorry. Sky Tyrant has brute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. But no, I mean, So you got 225. That's a +3. You just tag on how many ever Friends of Humanity you want.
And a Sky Tyrant.
And a Sky Tyrant.
Why not? It's always right.
It's not. It doesn't feel wrong, and it's not like a Dr. Thing is bad either.
No, he's not. He's a solid attacker. He only takes 1 damage from range attacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
You're moving attack though.
Yeah, he's got plasticity and sidestep though,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got that pseudo retail.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a place next if they attacked you, right?
Yeah, it doesn't even have to damage you, right? So they can miss your 19, and then Dr. Thing's like, "Hello, let me punch you in the face, 12 for 4, thank you."
Yeah, with plasticity.
Oh, and then you bring in the Friends of Humanity that you rolled onto Empower because you're playing several of them, so odds are in your favor. That's funny. Gosh dang it, Tyler! Why are you making me not want to play Bat Doom for Huntsville now?
Be real.
I could get. I've got all the other Dooms. I just don't have 2 Doctor Things. I could easily get 2 Doctor Things between now and next week.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, I'm not going to do that because it's just funny though.
Yeah, it is.
I hope someone listening to this plays it though.
I do too. Even though it just screws my team so bad.
Yeah, it screws over a lot of teams badly. Right, maybe the Brotherhood team that starts with a Blackheart and Jason is okay because they just have Blackheart and Jason, and that's just a good team. But I don't think the Gene Bomb would work because you lose half the Gene Bomb.
Yeah, including Gene.
Right,
So, no.
you either lose Gene or you lose Exodus. I forget which way the math works.
Does Dr. Thing shut down Jason's bystanders?
Yes.
No, not Dr. Thing. Lord Doom does.
No, Dr. Thing does. You may choose a...
Oh, if he stays on the map.
Yeah.
It just says the chosen sideline game element can't be brought into the game. So
Can you target an element that's not present yet?
You choose an opposing silent game.
Because you're not bringing in, and a pog on a card is not a game element. So you can say you can't bring in Captain Marvel. There's no way to prevent Chewie.
Okay.
Because
stops the Wonder Woman thing.
It does stop. It does stop Shifty Wonder Woman, right? So
you don't even pick a Wonder Woman. You say they can't use that lasso. You can't bring in the lasso. The Wonder Woman's kind of suck.
No, the lasso comes from outside the game.
The lasso comes from outside of the game, but you could say if they start with whatever Wonder Woman they start with, you say, well, I'm just going to keep Dr. Thing and say you can't use your other 2 Wonder Womans.
Right, yeah.
And then I'll swap out the third guy.
Fun times.
Still a little scary with getting retail without your counter though.
A little bit. These guys are beefy enough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too. I'm not
just those 2.
I'm not too worried about. I'm gonna be too worried about that.
Depends if you're playing out 100 or not.
Yeah, Invincible with a 19 is nothing to scoff at. So that's I like that, Tyler. That's an unexpected. I did not expect to be talking about that tonight, but
Dr. Thing.
Here we are. So here we are. So on your particular version of the swap out, you don't really believe in the Gene Bomb situation. You just want to play 2 Blackhearts every game because you believe that they're the best version of the team.
Yeah, my problem, I thought about it more. I don't like the Swift swap out teams, as a concept. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm saying because when I build a team, I'm I'm agonizing over every 5-point increment to find like the optimal thing to play, and I think that the swap out teams just play a lot of not bad but suboptimal teams, to where like if they weren't like, if you like the gene bomb has like the gene bomb and then the thing that you can switch to. I don't think that if swap out didn't exist, you would never be playing that second team because it's suboptimal. But that's what it feels like to me. But I could be proven wrong for sure.
I would agree with the Fantastic Four swap out teams, or as I call them, the switcheroo teams.
Sure.
There's so far, I feel like with the Fantastic Four pieces out there, just haven't been. It's too limited on what you can build. You're either playing offensive or defensive, and the points don't really allow both. With X-Men and Hellfire, you can actually probably do both in your build. It just depends on what you're playing against.
I disagree.
And that's and I would say, Brad, that what you just said is my typical thought of the team. Like there's a version, if you don't play the Gene Bomb, you can get Weingard and Blackheart together. And in my opinion, based on what I've practiced, I think Weingard, Blackheart together is just as good as having two Blackhearts.
Oh, it might be, but so that second, the Weingard Blackheart team that they switched to, is that team? If there was no swap out, would that team be a team? Be an optimal team?
I think what you're missing there, Tyler, is that it forces creativity in team builds. Because you are correct in saying that would someone come forward and play Blackheart Weingard together? And the answer is, would they play Blackheart Weingard together normally, right? Like if swap out doesn't exist, would someone say, here's a Hellfire Club team with Blackheart and Weingard versus two Blackhearts? And
so that's real quick. That's not what I'm saying. I totally find that Blackheart and Weingard could be an optimal team. I'm saying everything else on the team is not going to be optimal. If I'm just building my optimal Blackheart Weingard team, it's not going to be the team.
Yeah, you cut
out.
I don't. Yeah, you cut out again. So I would say the version of the team that I've seen is Weingard, Blackheart, Harry, and then some barrier. And because Magnetos and stuff have barrier. And that's a plenty good team. You just don't like playing with barrier.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying. I think that is a plenty good team. I think it's a really good team. I don't think it's optimal.
I think it's just as I think anything in this world has some sort of compromise, right? Like the only team that has never had any sort of compromise would be a Felix Faust team, because you can just roll really well with Felix Faust,
or a full point Unimind.
Or Full Point Unimind did have issues with like Outwit and Green Arrow and Barrier, and just getting locked out of the game. Yeah, I locked out Full Point Unimind more than once with double Barrier. So that is a compromise in that example, right? So I think that every team has a compromise, and the amount of times that you can just snap your fingers, Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos snap your fingers with a Gene Bomb is worth playing a not so optimal, fully optimized, bricked out Hellfire Jason Blackheart team.
Yeah, and that might be true. I just don't like that.
Because
optimal team.
Because Blackheart, Barrier, and Weingard is good enough. Right now, it is not the fully, like if you just take swap out and I say build a Hellfire Club team with a Blackheart and a Weingard, you may not arrive at the same answer, but I think that you arrive within close enough of the same answer that it's worth it.
That is the current theory that a lot of people hold. I disagree with it, but I have been wrong before.
That's and you're right. So you're putting what I like about and what I like about you, Tylor, is that you are putting your money where your mouth is, most likely, and playing it next week.
Yeah. About Blackheart. Obviously Blackheart is great. I've practiced with him and had really good success. I won a tournament that Brad threw, the 8 players. BU Soft, there was a little bit of luck involved, but still, like I've practiced well with it and I've done well. My concern is that I feel like Blackheart might be like a House of Cards team, where once people figure out the weakness, it just sort of falls apart. That's my fear right now with Blackheart.
So in your House of Cards team, did anybody figure out how whales worked and it just fell apart on you?
No.
I mean, other than say, maybe your closest teammates, right?
Mm-hmm.
We figured out how to bash our heads against the damn thing enough for months on end that we got our win ratio up there.
Yeah, but Blackheart's scarier because it's 2 75-point pieces that are 4 clicks long. So if somebody figures out a way to kill it.
So far, my best strategy to kill Blackheart is just Black Widow.
Yeah, Black Widow works. There are some things that work for sure. Fulcrum Abominus is scary for him. Juggernaut, like I mentioned. Gorilla Grodd. God Ellie. To name a few.
And just the Gene Bomb is somewhat effective against him. Now I will say this: there are ways that you can lose map with the Gene Bomb and beat Blackheart. We won't hold your hand here and tell you because some of those folks want that stuff kept secret. That's not on our team. Not on our team personally. We share stuff at Clixed Off. That's our.
I share my teams.
Yeah, we share our teams and strategies in Clixed Off, but sometimes we are asked to keep strategies that are outside of our team and outside of our purview to themselves. So
that's the I guess one of the aspects of when it comes to playing Heroclix online or just Heroclix in general is that some people don't like to reveal a strategy because once it's revealed, it's not as potent.
Right.
Yep, that's definitely true.
Which I think is a not so great way to play the game, but that's just my opinion. But at any rate, my point is, Gene Bomb is probably the most prevalent scary thing for Blackheart right now. What did you Dakin is another scary one.
That could be on the swap out team.
The Grodd team on animals is pretty scary. Or Ruler. Also Secret Six, not for naught, is pretty scary, right? Because they just outwit both stop clicks, right? And then Sky Tyrant comes in and goes flurry, and then he's dead.
And then he's dead twice. Yeah, that's true.
They quake, right? So
yeah, they quake twice, and then
they quake, and you don't get to generate, you don't get to mastermind, nothing. So
you would get the quake. You would get the mastermind. Well, not if you outwit it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You just outwit the stop click, right? So they don't even get to generate a guard.
That actually wouldn't work. If they don't generate the card, it would. And if you don't have one already, okay, then it would work.
Right. Yeah, you would have to Reign of Terror or whatever guarantee a guard with leadership turn one. But if so, they have a good chance of being able to KO, at least one Blackheart, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then moving back 12 squares, right? So,
And then rinse and repeat.
Yeah, there's still. I mean, black card is still great. There's still going to be a lot of black cards out there. So, if you don't know how to kill a black card by now, you should know how to kill one pretty quick here.
Right now, I'll tell you my trick against Blackheart. It's my favorite combo. It's with Medusa from Battleground Starter. B. 40 points with 3 bolts. And I equip her with the wire ring. So TK her out 6, running shot 4, the ones with 10, triple target my control.
Okay. Why her specifically?
I just like looking at figures that I can abuse with equipment, and with her triple bolts with the mic control, just it's good value with the Mystics and the Staff Click.
Wait, which Medusa is this?
it's from the Wonder Woman set.
Battlegrounds Wonder Woman. She's the B version.
Oh, yeah, this is the one I said I liked. Wait, why don't you play the main set one? She's got 12 attack.
Because she only has 2 bolts. No,
she doesn't have running shot though.
She doesn't have running shot. That's what it was.
That's true.
This one has got a 11 attack, and you can also play the reality gem or instead, or which one is it? The mind gem.
The mind gem, yeah, that gives you +1 attack.
+1 to attack, and you can repeat if you roll 10 higher.
Yeah, true. Mind control is good against Blackheart, and so is surrounding him so that he can't generate his guards. This is a really good thing.
Actually, he can generate his guards on his stat clicks.
Oh, are they not a May?
No, on the stat clicks are not a May.
Oh.
But if he's surrounded, then
he can't mastermind to him.
He can't mastermind to him. He has to mastermind to something else.
Okay. And then the leadership is non-optional, or is optional, so you don't get it generated if you're surrounded.
Correct.
Right. Yeah, the leadership does say you may instead generate. So.
Yep.
But the stop click is mandatory.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've won a couple of games killing the extra 25 points.
Yeah, you definitely have to wipe with Blackheart if you can survive.
That's been my plan so far, is to just give Tylor 1 turn, and then my next turn takes 48 minutes, and I score 125. I score 125 points from all of the guards, and I pass, and then Tylor can't score 125 points in the remaining 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
So not that, but similar situations will definitely come up. If you just live long enough, Blackheart will you'll beat it on points.
Was the issue with we playing Critical Revival in the Scott Porter tournament. The 3 games that I lost, it was because I didn't have enough time.
Yeah, it's really similar to Critical Revival because it gives up points, but it keeps coming.
That's right. Yeah. Twirl Blackheart doesn't have X-Men, so he can't be Krakoa'd.
Yeah, that some people think that's sad.
Yeah. So Brad, here's the things that I want to work. Right. So in this example, I want here's my ideal. I want Blackheart to have the X-Men keyword be 65 points so he can be revived by Chase A. I don't want any compromises, and I'm like Tylor. I don't want any compromises either. But my things are just completely absurd in most situations. Like Blackheart at 65, because if a figure can be Krakoa'd, but it's not able to be Krakoa'd by Chase A, then it's probably not worth it to me. Because you're probably playing some suboptimal Krakoaner to get that effect.
So far, the 2 best pieces for Krakoan Revival is Kate Pride and Chase A.
I always forget Kate Pride has it.
Yeah, I am looking at Mystique for 55 points, but she just so easy to kill. So Kate Pride or Chase A are the only 2 really good ones in my opinion.
Is she easy to kill?
I mean, she's got like 7 clicks with prop, top dial, and if you hit her on the right clicks, it becomes harder to kill.
No, I mean, Mystique. She's got Imperv, Super Senses, Stealth, right?
Yeah, Imperv, Super Senses, protected out wit on that special power with stealth.
She's not super easy to kill.
Yeah, I mean, Mystique is really good. I do like Mystique, but she's not. She's not like, bruh.
No,
right. She's not that.
Right. I don't know. I don't know what that means necessarily, but right. She's not Chase A with like you got to punch his ass 3 times, right, and all this other stuff.
You almost will never kill Chase A in a 300-point Melton game unless you have spin ring.
Right. Or 2x2 mags, or some other effect, or energy explosion with penetrating, or something like that.
Or Juggernaut, or some way to get through a stop click.
Yeah. Oh, but almost never is pretty accurate. I mean, I know we just came up. I know we just came up with like 4 things there, but those are not particularly common. Situations.
My teammates did not like practicing against my team because they're like, well, how far can we play? I was like, well, 400 points is actually pretty easy to get, so you just have to get skinless assassins out and not lose.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely a double-edged sword for Going Revival. It can go wrong pretty quickly when it does go wrong.
Mm-hmm. So I got a question, Brad, since you've played it a lot. Whenever, like, let's just say Chase A is in the middle of the map, and I kill a maggot. Where does that maggot come back at?
He comes next to the person that used Going Revival.
So if like maggot's up on the map, like halfway up the map, further away from Chase A, and he gets revived, he'll go back up the map towards Chase A.
Correct, as long as there's an available square. If there's not an available square, then that guy does not get to come back.
Right, because it's May. All right, so where does the skinless assassin get generated?
It gets generated to the next one of your friendly characters. So I've learned through lots of experience to keep Chase A away from the action. He's got certain range, so it's very, very plausible. And if you are having him in the action, or if they happen to play a Sky Tyrant and come at my team, then that puts me in a pretty big pickle. But I've won against those matchups a lot of times just because of all the prop. The key strategy in winning with Going Revival, besides playing super fast, is to keep your Going Revival guy away from the action.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
So like just like in general against your team, right? Just plop a character against, get a character out next to Chase A, and then
so that you can make the skinless assassins next to him. Yeah.
Right, and then just
Yep, you can just keep killing whoever's
Maggot.
the easiest to kill.
Yeah.
Well, Maggot's not the easiest to kill. Most likely you would choose Bishop, or you would choose, when I played it, Lila Cheney, super easy to kill.
Right, but like, if I kill a Lila Cheney and I have a guy next to your A, I don't think you generate her.
That's what some people were relying on in some games. They're like, oh, damn, I thought we could bring her back. And
Nope, that's dumb. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
She's dead. She stays dead.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense, right? But I mean, skinless assassin, right? He's a Flurry Blades police, right? I mean, let's not.
I'll take the risk with Maggot. I'll see if I can prob you and super.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Because I'm behind. If Maggot hasn't got his value, and scoring double his points, then I keep Maggot in there.
Right. That makes sense. All right. But I mean, Krakoan's not, it is something that can be incorporated in with the revival team, or not the swap out teams as well.
Switch out team, yeah, for sure. Pretty easy with Kate being so prevalent.
Yeah.
Kate and Mystique are great pieces, and Chase. That's why I looked at Mystique because she's 55,
Yeah.
and you have the Gambits at 50, and you have the Maggots at 40. So it's super easy to build around Mystique.
Right. All right, so just going through our list of questions. Aaron Morgan, we talked about Gene Bomb. We talked about Master Mold. Peter Melton, we talked about Tylor's best Blackheart team, which is, kind of our main experience here. Spencer White, I will probably answer this question first because I'm reading it. But with X-Men and Hellfire Club being relevant teams before Rise and Fall, do you think the ability to swap out pieces can make them overly dominate the meta? So the first part of that question is I don't know. The answer to that is no, because I think Latveria, mainly Latveria, Scientist Robot Animal are still fine. Especially when they win map against typically a lower theme swap out team. But how valuable do you think the ability to change out your team based on your opponent is? I place a lot of value on that, and then as you've heard Tylor say earlier, he thinks it's less valuable.
I think if you don't get the practice in with your sideline, if you're not getting practice in against what's being played in the meta right now, you're not making the best choices in what you can swap out. Because these swap out teams, you need a lot of practice with the main force and the sideline.
That's definitely true.
Because with only 9 characters on your sideline, I know some people say the trouble alerts and troublemakers aren't necessary to make a team competitive, but I will say that Tylor's animal team is part of his success was with making trouble alerts or troublemakers. If you can disagree with me if you want to. But also my Maggot team, the Chase A team, drew success because I could almost always bring out a troublemaker or a trouble alert with my 4 or 5 attacks. And usually you want to have 2 of each of those guys. And that limits you down to 5 to maybe 6. I think you should always play 2 Black Vulcans on your sideline.
Yeah. And that's not even counting Jason sidelines if you want them.
Jason sideline, that's 4 characters right there. And then,
I think you can get by with 2 on Jason. I think if you just play Isaac and Captain Marvel, you're fine.
I was thinking, what's his name? The 25-point leadership guy. The Commissioner. The Commissioner and Maggot. But Isaac and Captain Marvel are also good choices.
I think if you have to distill it down, that's your.
I think Isaac is the auto include, and then the other 2 are probably the 2 best. It's probably would take Chewie, but it's negligible.
Yeah, it's just
because Commissioner is very good.
The Commissioner is so great, so busted. Especially when you can play main force Commissioner with Jason.
Yeah. So then, do you get the probs if you do that?
Props
from rookie? Can he prob? If Jason generates, but you have a commissioner on your team? No,
because it's specific to that Jason.
It just says, but only if the commissioner is within range and line of fire. It doesn't say anything about the generation part of that. Just because Jason generated him, it doesn't change the referential trait to Jason.
I might have to argue against that because usually Pog self-references itself.
No, it just says if the commissioner, so it's a specific thing to the It
says if the commissioner is within X, then with a line of fire, then he can use prob.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see. So Spencer White, so I would say Spencer does mention the new Sentinel here. And I would say if you don't have all of the trouble alerts and troublemakers and you're not doing swap out, that you should definitely have some of the new Sentinels on your sideline.
Yeah,
maybe just anyway. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sentinel's good because it's a different proc than the other ones. So
correct.
Oh.
and with all the Alpha Spawn teams out there right now, then
Right. Yeah.
I
So
think
like
it's almost an auto include.
yeah, because if I'm coming, if like I'm coming across and I'm hitting you 3 times for sure, like with my animal team, then you being able to generate a sentinel even during my attack is a big deal because you can block lines of fire or not let me place my stuff down, and then obviously your next turn it helps you follow up.
That's right.
So it's like different than the other ones, so it's worth having at least one of.
Yeah, I think so.
So
And
that's one more additional piece for sideline.
Yeah.
And
he can and you can keep putting him back on his sideline. He does give up points, but
better play aggressive and quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. But so his question is, so I'm going to say, Spencer, that just for now we are probably not going to talk about Empire just yet, unless y'all just really, really want to.
He had a follow-up question. Is this a design that you enjoy with having these things coming in, and is it healthy for the game?
I like it a lot, just because it's cool to be able to play your generics in competitive, if nothing else, right?
Well, not just the Sentinels, but I think he's also including the Troublemakers and Trouble Alerts.
Yeah, that's too. But I was talking more like Hellfire, like this set, Hellfire Clubs, Hell Guard, and the Shire generics, and that's what they did a little bit with Empire too. So far, it's cool to be able to bring in generics like that. I like that a lot.
Because
I don't like the trouble
value across the whole rarity from common and common to rare.
I don't like the trouble alerts mechanic as much because they are chases. They are very expensive, and it's not something you build. It's not something you have in your build and you're building with it. It just is always there on every team. Whereas the other way, the new way that they're doing it, it's more specific with Hellfire Club, with the what's his face? Scroll dude, the new Scroll dude.
The Scroll Spy.
Yeah. So I like it. I like this mechanic better than the other one, but I like them both because you get to use more of your figures.
I also agree that I think it's good that they're having more sideline stuff at a cheaper rarity. I don't think it's necessarily bad for the game.
Yeah.
Because you can easily lose by getting these pieces in on the field.
Oh, yeah.
You can lose by 5, 10, 15, 20 points. So I don't think they're necessarily unhealthy for the game.
And then, so Jason Labandera and Micah asked about mystical theme with Blackheart. I don't think you quite explored that too much yet, Tyler, because
I did because I like Felix Faust so much. I love that piece, but I don't like the rest of mystical. There's not the taxi's okay with Raven. The thing that we had said, or I had said, was I think it's missing a retail or something similar to that. What?
Ghost Rider Prime from Fantastic Four.
Oh, you are correct. It does. I apologize.
That's actually on my build right now for the tournament this weekend.
Okay, but it used to have Tri-Sentinel.
Oh yeah, Tri-Sentinel.
Yeah. So I think that's what is missing right now, and I don't know. It's probably good. Any Blackheart, I feel like you can just any of its keywords you can build a team around. There's a great ruler Blackheart team. So I think maybe the problem with Weapon Hex is that she has the same points as Blackheart and has his keywords. So like I looked at her again and she does really cool things, but I don't know why you would ever play her over Blackheart. Is my issue with her.
Is that the suboptimal thing coming at you again?
Maybe. Well, if someone could give me a good reason to play her over Blackheart, maybe.
I mean, I would say she's equally as hard to kill.
Yeah, she is.
I don't think that's true at all. She doesn't have Mastermind. You can just hit her.
Yes, but with the Wonder Woman equipment, the bracelets, she's 4 through 6 super senses.
You're not equipping her with that.
Why not?
Are you?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, I mean that's her whole thing. So,
Because it's
yeah.
well, so it is a
Okay,
4 through 6. But that's not as good as Mastermind because Mastermind is a 6 through 6.
Well,
And
Mastermind, you can't Mastermind with a critical hit.
you
Well,
can Mastermind, right?
you can't mastermind a critical hit, but nor can you
Yeah.
nor can you roll out a super sense on a critical hit either.
Okay, fine, got me.
And one big thing to consider actually right now is that there's going to be a lot of tempo out there, so maybe it's not as safe. She does have a 19 defense and she does heal, but I think Blackheart's harder to kill for sure. They
Yeah,
can both heal off their stop click.
With the amount of poison from Black Widow and maggots out there, that's just.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's not winnable on the non-stop clicks.
On the non-stop clicks, yep. She does cool things. If there was better
So I think
Mystic Support, or if Blackheart didn't exist.
so. Here's I think I'll sum up your argument maybe for you. Let me try it here. So, Weapon Hex and Blackheart are equal in points, equal in most of their keywords, equally hard to KO, except for the fact that Blackheart has Mastermind and generates his own fodder on his stop clicks, thus edging out Weapon Hex.
And he is much more offensive. She that's her biggest thing. She looks like an offensive piece, but she is a defensive piece. She lacks offense, right? She can attack you once for blades. That's not good enough today.
Right, I agree. So let's go through the rest of our questions here. So that was Emmanuelle Olavarria. He gave us a funny question. What do you think? Why do you think people are sleeping on Speed Weasel with the Angler equip?
Genius.
The Angler equipment from Fantastic Four? No, that's from Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. The Angler. The Angle Man.
Is that where you can place them with the
You
equipment?
place within 4, yeah. It's not it's not good.
He has a clown emoji after it, so it's a joke. So sleeping on, I don't know. The meta's pretty wide open, so.
I think people are sleeping on Fulcrum right now. I know people know him and stuff. He should be played more and he should be talked about more. He's insanely good.
Who?
Fulcrum Abominus.
Oh, Fulcrum Abominus.
Yeah.
He's all right. I mean,
And he can fit on so many teams so easily. He should be on most X-Men teams, I feel like, with Trinary switch out.
I actually played him with an X-Men team a couple weeks ago, 1-3-0. It was super well. I couldn't get my hands on a Dark Phoenix, so I was like, I'll play him with Fulcrum Abominus. I'll break team. I'll see if it works. It's totally good.
Yeah, he's really good. Just like everything about him is really good. He has 3 team abilities with a lot of wild card right now.
Yeah. So we answered that question. Aaron Young. We did talk about Medusa with Brad earlier.
Was the wrong Medusa?
No. We talked about Brad's
No, the Gambit Medusa swap
the
out.
Gambit Medusa swap out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So I think that actually does wrap up our questions for our 2-hour and 7-minute podcast. So first of all, is there any other topics that y'all want to bring up today, or anything that I forgot to talk about today?
I would like to mention that tournament that I'm playing on this weekend, if you guys don't mind.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I just want to give it a shout out. It's in Dallas. And we're expecting 25 to 30 people, and the more people that attend, the pricing does increase.
Exciting.
It's for Master Mold, and it's a special format with the tiered format that I've been trying to push for online.
Mm-hmm.
We're expecting a lot of unique teams, so with a few black hearts tossed in there as well.
Can you play like one of the top tier and then 2 of the second tier? Is that how it works?
Well, it's a certain combination. There are 6 different combinations, but the math kind of adds up to 4 in some different ways. If you play 1 tier 1, you can play 1 tier 2 and 2 tier 3. And there's a few other combinations with that It could be a little confusing at first to go over, but
Yeah.
once you've read it and I guess find your learning tool, because so far I've gone over it with visual aids and talking about it and writing it. And once you find the one that clicks for you, I think you get how it works. But yeah, the idea is to limit a certain amount of figures that are played together to help other figures shine. In this particular format, it's more about the cost of the figure. So the higher the cost, the higher the tier, and the more limited it becomes.
Cost is its dollar value, right?
Cost is monetary value.
Okay.
The online version that I have is more about the meta value, which can often coincide with the monetary value.
Okay, that makes sense.
If you want to play an in-person tournament with 30 plus people, we have plenty of room. There's going to be mass. People will be safe. And you're going to see a lot of people from Texas, some from Oklahoma, some from Arkansas. And yeah, come out, play, try to win Master Mold on a brick.
Yeah, well, that'd be cool.
That's exciting.
I look forward to your post this weekend, Brad.
Excited to see what wins.
Who's winning? What's being played? That kind of stuff. So
Sure.
Will that be the first in person after with the new set, right?
For us, we've been playing locally in person, but this will be the first big in-person tournament.
Yeah, the big event.
Well, I mean,
That'd
you mean first big in person with Rise and Fall, right?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Rise and Fall will be legal. The one thing I'm not sure about the legality of is the cake pool for the LE. I'm not sure if that's legal yet.
Yeah, it would be. It's tied to the set, so it should.
Well, I know the Merman wasn't legal, the LE, for a little while after its release.
That's because Mole Man wasn't specifically distributed as a play-at-home kit.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's your difference there.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see the results.
I'll see if I can stream it this weekend if I'm able to.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I got nothing to do this weekend. Finally.
That's it for me.
Yep. Let's see. I was just gonna look real quick. I mean, Rise and Fall main set and OP figure is listed on the Modern Legal list now. So.
Okay. Thanks for looking it up for me.
Yeah. Tylor, final thoughts?
I got nothing. Muppet Babies.
Muppet Babies? Oh gosh, we're not. Alex is not here, so
I don't care. I'm keeping it alive. Muppet Babies for life.
All right. Brad, thank you for being on and joining us tonight, and thanks everybody for listening to Clixed Off today, and we'll talk to y'all next time.
See ya.
Bye.